Hey there everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. On today's video, we're going to be catching up on all the latest news from Arcade1up. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button. Click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video. Give this one a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So now this video probably should have come out a couple of days ago because a lot of the news I'm going to be covering, we found out, around Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. Unfortunately, I have been a little bit under the weather. Been kind of just lying around sick in bed for a couple of days. Still not firing at 100%, but I am feeling a little bit better. So I wanted to take a few minutes and just kind of get this video out, just kind of talk about these things, now for myself. If you guys are watching this, even if you've seen some of this coverage already, thank you so much for tuning in anyway. I really do appreciate the support. But let's not waste any more time and let's dive right in because my throat is killing me. Alright, so I know some of you are no doubt aware that Arcade1up has hit us with a couple of upcoming release announcements over the last few days, starting with Time Crisis that got officially unveiled during their That One Up show earlier this week, actually on Tuesday. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time covering Time Crisis in this video for a couple of reasons. First off, we did touch on it Tuesday night on our live Game Time show. If you missed that video, it is up on my channel. You can check it out. Check out the replay there. Also, a couple of weeks ago, I covered the latest leaks from this that came from a retailer in Europe. You can check that video out as well. Hopefully there will be a link somewhere in this video, I don't know, on one of these sides, somewhere. As I'm going through this, you can definitely check that out. What I do want to cover real quick is a couple of things we didn't know at that time. Now, one thing we did not know was the price on this, because basically we were going off of a European retailer with its own pricing, and that pricing came out to a little over $1,000 US. Many of us thinking that that probably wasn't going to be real. Now, when this first leaked way back last year, I think during my last video I had said that one of the leaks for this was during October when we saw a picture from the pop-up store from Arcade1up, and somebody rightly pointed out to me that yes, this actually did get first leaked during the GameFly leaks of April of last year. Now, during that time, we thought that the retail price was going to be $800. Well, it turns out that that was closer than many of us would have liked, because the retail price is actually coming in at $750. Now, let me just say this about that. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with that particular price. Now, I know this is going to be a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people are really excited about Time Crisis. I'm sure many people will pick it up even at that price. But for me personally, I would have rather seen this come in at a lower price. I would have liked to have seen, well, I really would have liked to have seen this get closer to a lot of the other deluxe cabs at $500. However, they did just recently announce the new version of the Big Buck Hunter Pro Deluxe at $599. Now, had this come in at around that price, I think that would have been a better deal for people. As it stands, this is the most expensive cab that they have announced this year. Now, why it's hitting at $750, I really don't know, but it is what it is. So, it's just something for you guys to understand. Now, another thing that we didn't really know was about the pedal on this. Here, now, a lot of us speculated that it might actually be metal. I thought it could potentially be plastic with kind of a faux metal on it, but I was pleasantly surprised to find out that no, in fact, this is a metal plate on top of the pedal, making it hopefully one of the more sturdy pedals that Arcade1up has come out with. Hopefully more sturdy than some of their racer ones, although, I mean, I've heard some people talk about breaking the pedals, but for the most part, they do seem like they're okay. The thing with Time Crisis is it's a game that has you stepping on that pedal quite a bit. So, the plus here is that it is going to be more sturdy, having that metal plate on it. Also, the fact that the only game on this, of the 4 games, the only one on it that actually uses the pedal is Time Crisis. So the other 3 games aren't even going to take that pedal, into account, which should help for it to last longer. Now, beyond that, I don't think there were any other real big surprises here. Like I said, everything that we found out from the recent leaks seemed to be true on this. So I'm not going to really talk about it that much more. Like I said, you can catch my video on the leaks out of that Europe retailer. It'll pretty much cover all of this. Like I said, the only thing we didn't know was the price and confirmation on that pedal. Beyond that, like I said, it's all pretty much, what we speculated. Now, I will say this, price aside, I think this is a gorgeous cab. I think this is definitely one of the better ones that they have come out with. Certainly a fantastic one being a new IP for this year as opposed to some of the rehashes that we've seen. I just wish that it was a little bit cheaper. That's the only thing really that's holding it back. Yes, I know people will complain about a 17-inch monitor on a shooter, and it is a valid point for sure. I'm not making light of that. But that aside, I think this is a great looking cab. If you want to see some more information about this, you should definitely check out B Kong, Kongs Are Us, because he's actually got a review unit of this sent to him from Arcade1up. He did a video recently. He did an unboxing video. He did a video recently of some gameplay footage on this. So be sure to check out his channel if you want even more information on Time Crisis. But for me, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to move on to the ones that got announced at Gamescom. All right, so right now over in Europe, there's a huge gaming convention going on called Gamescom. And surprisingly, Arcade1up has a booth there. And they brought a couple of cabs with them, that one of which we kind of knew was coming and one of which was a complete surprise. Now, I'll start with the one that we knew was coming, and that's the Atari 50th Anniversary Deluxe. Now, again, this one got leaked recently from a retailer. I want to say it's Costco that released this one, but I'm not 100% sure. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comments. And if I am wrong, I'm blaming it on the cold medicine for a fuzzy memory. But beyond that, again, there isn't many surprises here from what we saw on that retailer. So I'll just take a couple of minutes really quick and just talk about this. This is the Atari 50th Anniversary Deluxe. Now, this is basically the Atari release from last year, which was themed after Centipede, but in a deluxe format. It's the same 14 arcade games that were on that. Now, there's a few differences here compared to last year. First off, this is in the deluxe format. Secondly, as you can see here, it is themed after the Atari 50th anniversary that was last year. So yeah, this is themed after the Atari 50th. Now, you can tell because there's Atari 50 all over the darn thing. Yeah, this is a cab specially designed to just kind of capitalize on the 50th anniversary of Atari. It's really not designed to look after or mimic any particular arcade cabinet, which is a shame because otherwise it's a really nice cab. I think this is going to be slightly better than the Atari from last year, Centipede, primarily because that one, again, not to get too much into things, that one had a lesser monitor, the TN monitor, that didn't have some great viewing angles, had very poor black levels, whereas this is going to have the BOE for better viewing angles, better blacks, just a nicer monitor on it. Now, beyond that, they've also decided to include 50 Atari 2600 games on this, which is one of the reasons why this particular cab includes a joystick on it, which is something that we haven't seen on one of their Atari releases. We're used to seeing the trackball, we're used to seeing spinners on them. You've got the 3 buttons here, which, takes advantage of games like Asteroids, Missile Command, things like that. I do love the volcano buttons here. I think that is great. But you've also got this joystick here to just kind of, take advantage again of the Atari 2600 games, making this kind of a rather busy control panel. But the way things are laid out, I don't think it's going to be too much of a big deal. Now, one thing we really don't know about this just yet is which of those Atari 2600 games that this is going to be coming with. Now, last year, Atari did release their Atari 50th Anniversary Celebration that came out on multiple platforms, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, and this had over 100 different games on it across the spectrum of Atari, including 40 different 2600 games. Now, it's a good possibility that those 40 games are the games that are going to be on this, plus another 10 or so. Just, again, not sure which ones they are. So, if you got the 50th anniversary celebration, or if you want to check it out, you probably have a good idea of which games are going to be included on this cab. But again, beyond that, this is not a really big surprise. Like I said, we did get a leak of this a few weeks ago from a retailer saying that this was coming. So now we've got an official announcement and an official thing on the Arcade1up website on it. So you can definitely check it out for yourself. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this something of interest to you? I gotta say, it's a neat cab. I just wish it was actually themed after a real arcade game and not for this Atari 50th. Had this been a Missile Command or an Asteroids theme, I think this would have been a slam dunk for them. Yeah, not really sure why they decided to go with it as an Atari 50th, especially, again, like when you consider that the 50th was last year, not this year. But, you know, again, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited for this one, or is this a pass? All right, so rounding things off now, we've got the surprise cab. This is the one that we weren't expecting to see, and this is the Galaga Deluxe. Again, this was kind of a stealth drop over at Gamescom. I don't think anybody really saw this one coming. But again, there are good things and bad things about this particular one. Now, this is basically a re-release of the Galaga 40th that they did a couple of years ago in the deluxe format. Now, unfortunately, what I don't like about this is it's exactly the same games list as the Pac-Man Deluxe that also released earlier this year. So basically, it's the same cab as Pac-Man Deluxe, just themed after Galaga. And I think that's a huge misstep on Arcade1up's part. Because here you are with a cab that, like I said, is basically the exact same cab. It's just a different theme. So I don't think there's too many people out there who would be interested in buying both Pac-Man and Galaga just to have different looking cabs, because you're going to get the same gameplay experience. It really is just going to be a matter of which theme do you like better. Do you like Pac-Man more, or do you like Galaga more, as to which one you would ultimately wind up purchasing. Now, again, I think this is a huge misstep on Arcade1up's part, and they could have done something really, really cool with this. Now, a couple of years ago, Arcade1up came out with a Galaga Partycade, which is unfortunately unavailable now unless you can find it on eBay or someplace like OfferUp here, where you're probably going to pay a premium for it. But this one actually had some really cool games on it that haven't seen the light of day yet on a 3/4 scale cab. Now, that would include games like Ga Plus, which is the fourth in the Galaga Galaxian games list, and I think would have been a fantastic one to include on a 3/4 scale cab. You've also got games like Bosnian, Modos, Dragon Spear, Grobda, Xevious, you know, games that we haven't seen before or haven't seen in a while that could have made a comeback. But instead, they decided to go with the same games list as Pac-Man. Now, again, I think that's a huge misstep. I think they could have taken that Partycade, put those 10 games on there, and then put 4 more games on it. Heck, they could have put 4 of the Pac-Man games on there to go with it if you really wanted to include Pac-Man on these. But I think it would have made for a different cab, and one that would have made people maybe want to consider both the Pac-Man and the Galaga one. Just something to think about, Arcade1up. But beyond that, I think this is just another typical deluxe cab. Like I said, it's basically a re-release of the 40th anniversary one that came out a couple of years ago, which I believe only had 12 games on it. So this has got 2 more. Again, already gone through the games list. But, you know, they've included a couple of neat things here. Upgraded joysticks with on-off light-up buttons. You've got a metal certificate of authenticity. You've got a light-up faux coin door. So this may be another one of what they're considering their vault range. Not totally sure, but it does include a couple of extra amenities. Again, a little bit different from the Pac-Man one, but again, ultimately, you know, same cab. So whichever one theme you're more interested in, whether it's Pac-Man or Galaga, is the one that you should consider. Now, this brings up one final point of contention that I just want to talk about, because it's based on a cab that I'm actually very interested in and looking to maybe purchase before the end of this year, and that's the new Deluxe Class of 81. Again, I'm a huge Galaga Galaxian fan, so I do like the look of this cab. I just wish the games was a little different from the Pac-Man release. But I'm kind of more interested in that Class of 81 because I like Ms. Pac-Man. I like some of the different games on it compared to the Pac-Man release, compared to this release. But I gotta say, here's what I don't understand. If you're going to take the Galaga 40th anniversary and re-release it in a deluxe and add games to it, why didn't you do the same thing with Class of 81? Now, Class of 81 comes with the same 12 games that the original Class of 81 that they released came with. Why didn't you add 2 more games to it? Seriously, 2 more games. Bring it up to 14 games, just like all your other deluxe releases this year. You could have put Ga Plus on there. You could have rounded out the Galaxy and Galaga games, and you could have put like one extra game on it. Again, maybe something from that Galaga Partycade, something different that we haven't seen. Now, I still like the cab. I'm still very interested in it. I just, after seeing this, I'm even a little more disappointed that they didn't go the extra mile and just add a couple of more games on it just to get it up to the same 14 games that we're seeing on all of the other deluxes, or all the re-release deluxes, I should say, this year. But, you know, that's just a pet peeve for me, and I just felt like I wanted to get it out there. I'm going to stop this video here because I feel like I need to go clear my throat and relax a little bit, but I did want to get this video out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you stuck with me through it, like I said, even if you've seen this news already, thank you so much. I do appreciate the support. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better soon, and I'll be back with more videos. Till then, hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.